Hey, it's Law and That with Mitch and Jim. Thanks for joining us. Mitch Dugan, the premier lawyer in the city. Mitch, I think people should know. If you have seriously, there's something about our city. There's uniqueness about our city that it's ours.
Definitely.
It's our city. It's our little quirks that we only understand. For instance, I love the fact that our city has downtown has a subway that goes a block long. We understand that. Other people don't understand. That's ours, you know?
And I've used it.
We have our dialect, you know, and this I got Stanley Pikichaski.
You're good at that.
I got Mitch Stegg. He's the best. He's the best lawyer. So he's the best. But you got,
Thanks.
I think it's something about the inside, the way our city works. I like the fact.
And it gets inside you.
You
go anywhere in America, if somebody's from Pittsburgh.
It's a connection, man.
Right.
I remember being in Italy about a year ago and walking a Steeler bar, Pittsburgh bar. It's kind of cool, you know? It freaked the people out. It's me and Larry Richard and Donnie Ayers. People from Greensboro. What is doing in Italy?
My dad went away on vacation. I don't know if it was in the Caribbean or somewhere.
Yeah.
And there was a guy down there wearing a Steelers sweatshirt running this, where they rent stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, "You from Pittsburgh? Oh, I love Pittsburgh. It's my favorite." He's Jamaican or whatever.
Little Pittsburgh everywhere, right?
Yeah.
I'm serious. I mean, you could be driving. You see that little Kennywood sign all over the country too. Everywhere I go.
You should bring with you and just nail it in places you go.
I swear they must nail it. I could be driving on 95 down to Florida. There's a Kennywood sign. How far is it from here?
It's only 11,000 miles.
That's true. You need to eat a Pittsburgh lawyer for Pittsburgh problems. I think you're a Pittsburgh guy, and there's just certain things that and there's a lot of people, a lot of posers out there. And,
I believe so. And I mean, I'm from Pittsburgh, born and raised.
Homegrown.
Went to Pitt Law and been practicing for a couple years, many. We're seeing an interesting thing lately in Pittsburgh where these firms that are based out of town, Ohio, West Virginia, Philly, now they're opening satellite offices here. They're advertising here. You think you're getting the big names, but most of the time you're not.
Yeah,
you're getting one of their associates they hired to manage their satellite office.
There's just a certain flavor to Pittsburgh. So that's why you need a Pittsburgh lawyer like yourself.
That's right. I'm like Permanis.
You're like Permanis.
That's it.
Without the slaw and fries. My favorite. I grew up in the Strip District. My favorite Permane. The cheesesteak is great. We got to say cheesesteak great. But
number 2 bestseller.
Number 2 bestseller, that's right. And I'd say cap of cold cheese is
That's my favorite.
Really?
Yeah. Cap and cheese.
Guess where we're going after this? We're gonna get a cap and cheese.
I love cap and cheese.
And if I get crazy, fried egg on it.
Oh my God! I almost said I like cap and cheese with egg on it. That is so weird.
We got to go to the Strip one too, down the Strip.
That's really weird.
Antoinette down there, they're the best. Yeah, isn't that wild? It's pretty wild.
That's because I'll get egg on it too sometimes.
We sink under Permane sandwich, exact.
That's scary.
That is really scary, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you're married.
We are definitely connected. That's a Pittsburgh connection.
Yeah, definitely.
That's heavy. That makes us blood brothers.
That's it.
If you make the same Permane sandwich, you're like blood brothers, man.
At the original downtown Strip District.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
My grandfather took me there when I was a kid. It was a dive. It was that long bar.
Oh yeah. It was one little area,
man.
Yeah,
right.
Go in there.
Truckers come in at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I remember going before school at the North Catholic and having breakfast. That was my breakfast in Permane's. Yeah,
We'd go after a night out like everybody else at 2 a.m. after all the bars closed.
Live there. Yeah. It's the greatest.
It was either that or Eaton Park.
Oh, Eaton Park. Now, the reason I loved Eaton Park when I was a kid, I remember there was you get the bear claw. It was like 95 cents.
Bear claw.
You don't have much money when you're a kid. It's like pitching in.
I get a milkshake. I always liked the milkshakes when I was a kid.
Bear claw and a milkshake. That was the move. Hey, just go down and get a bear claw and a milkshake.
Well, we go. I was telling you earlier about my house and my high school Alderdice, and in between was Minio's, Ayala's. There was also an Eaton Park in between.
How are you not 300 pounds?
I know. I walked everywhere.
That's good. That's good. Hey, if you have a legal question, go to askdugan@lawnet.com, and that's the nice thing about this show. We will answer a real law question because you have a premier lawyer here. So you get some free legal advice, and just go to askdugan@lawnet.com. And here's one, Mitch. This is from Rob from Blonox. It says, Mitch, I broke a bone in my left ankle at work. My doctor says I should stay off it longer. My employer wants me to return to work on light duty and to see a company doctor instead of the orthopedic doctor I've been seeing. I said, this sounds fishy to him. What should he do?
So there's a bunch of stuff wrapped up in that question. If he got hurt at work, obviously it's a work injury.
Okay.
And depending on how he got hurt, it may also involve a civil negligence lawsuit against a third party, somebody other than his employer. When you get hurt at work in Pennsylvania, you have to treat with a company doctor. If they have a panel list of doctors for the first 90 days.
Okay.
If he's beyond the 90 days, then and the company's requesting him to see the doctor, that could be fishy. Or it may be something that's part of their particular company to get him back to work. Ankles are really bad injuries. If you fracture an ankle, you have ankles, they seem to almost never heal. They're problems. So if his doctor's telling him to stay off for longer, he should. And if his doctor does not feel he should even do light duty, then I would tell him to follow his doctor's advice. The company may not like that, so there could be some problems there in dealing with the company, and he definitely should call a lawyer to talk.
So we're talking like life-changing injuries. Seems like broken ankle, but life-changing injury. So you have to call a great lawyer, like yourself, to make the right decision. That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
Right?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, ankles are bad.
That's how we're ending the show. Ankles are bad. That's our new thing now. We're gonna have a new theme for the show. It's good and bad.
It's good and bad.
This week, ankles are bad.
Yes. Next week, shoulders. Well,
ankles are good. Broken ankles are bad.
Breaking ankles.
You could quote me on that. Broken ankles are bad, right?
I got a guy who was crushed by a big steel. I think it was a beam. It was a beam or something.
Yeah.
Fell off of the hoist the crane had, and where did it land? On his foot.
Ooh.
Yeah, and multiple fractures.
Well, the reason, you know what? You're right, because there's so many bones, and
oh yeah,
yeah,
it's tough. And they put a plate in, and the bones are fusing because it's part of the surgery they do. And that when fractures heal, right? They kind of like fuse together. Sometimes they don't.
And forever going to the airport, screen thing going off.
Oh yeah, he got a special exemption.
Got to go around.
They'll wand him.
Yeah, go around. He's got to be wanded.
Right.
Watch another episode of Law and That. We mentioned Jim.